This will contain spoilers from several games. So, if you do not like spoilers, do not watch this video. Today, we're discussing the most hated video game characters of all time. We're doing a simple top 10, and ranking them from number 10 to number 1. All of these characters are equally as bad and equally as horrible. But there has to be a consistency in this ranking. I might do another one for non-video game characters as well. For example, Frost from Dragon Ball Super and Guriska from, of course, Alita Battle Angel, and include characters like, Harley Quinn, but no, we'll restrict ourselves to video game characters alone. Number 10. Number 15. I had decided to extend this to a top 15, but yep, most of the characters are basically on this list. Before we get to top 15, there are some honorable mentions. Gebra is one, Mastu from the legendary Starfy, Big the Cat, and Gengar from Pokemon Mystery Dozen Blue Rescue Team. And of course with Sandre, who is such a bad Pokemon villain to begin with. I don't know why people hate Getas so much. They compare him to Brandash and Sandre, with Sandre from Pokemon X and Y. Why? But yep, other than that, here we go. Number 15, Rui from Pikmin 2 and 3. Rui is a character that appears in both of these games. He is a playable character in Pikmin 2. And, yep, of course, because of my many replays of the game, and especially because of Pikmin 3, Rui is on this list. Rui isn't really that bad in the storyline. He gets lost and then he gets with the Titan Dreevil. But then you find out, I never would complete those last two levels, you find out, guess what? Those two levels are the challenge mode perfectly. Well, guess what? Rui is the reason why the whole game happened. Well, the game is good, so I can excuse Rui for that. But the whole reason why he had to go through the death and to begin with, I know some people hate the president from Pikmin 2, but Rui is the one that caused the Poco Debit. Rui is the one that caused the whole game to begin with. And in Pikmin 3, the president stupidly sends Rui back with Aramau instead of going himself. But I think the president going himself would have been much better than Rui going again. Because guess what, in Pikmin 3, Rui gets mistaken for Aramau and he steals all the food. So they really think that Aramau is Rui. Like, you gotta be kidding me. Such a silly character. And probably the worst character in the entire Pikmin franchise. Number 14, Omote. Omote is a character that exists in the Sonic franchise. He is annoying and he doesn't shut up. Basically, Omote, there are some pretty bad Sonic characters like Princess Elise, but I never really played Sonic 06. And Princess Elise is kind of an overhated character compared to Omote. What does Omote do? Well, he just annoys you the whole time in Sonic Adventure 2. Every time I play for Sonic Adventure 2, I have to be reminded that I have to hear this thing's voice. I have to hear its voice every time. Like, the whole kiss thing with Elise is still more terrible than Omote telling you how to jump. Should be in the trash bin where he belongs. Number 13, Pichu. But not from, this would be our Super Smash Bros. Rep. Because Pichu just sucks in Melee. That's all I have to say. Pichu was added to a character as Melee as a joke character. So maybe he was supposed to be a grass cannon. What was the great addition they added to Pichu? Well, guess what? Pichu hurts himself. Why the hell would he add a character to a game that hurts itself? Can you guys please explain this to me? Pichu is cute, but come on. You could put Skarmory, Typhlosion, Tyranitar, Suicune, and Entei, and you chose Pichu? Heck, I hate that. I don't like at least Jigglypuff doesn't hurt itself in air attacks. But every single little thing Pichu does, he hurts himself. Number 12. On the most hated characters list, we have Kristy from Paper Mario. I almost put Pink Gold Pizza on this list, but I want to put someone else that no one has heard of before. Kristy from Paper Mario Sticker Style. I just hate her because he basically ruined the entire Paper Mario franchise. It took 2 games for Paper Mario to go back to at least somewhat semblance what it used to be. Good story, good characters, at least an okay AS battle system, which isn't as great as the other games, but again, Origami King is much better than Sticker Style. And she's basically just the Navi of that game. She isn't very good, as she isn't a very good companion. Especially you get better companions in other Paper Mario games, like Tippy and Super Paper Mario, and you also get Olivia and Paper Mario the Origami King. I would try to gravitate both of those companions than than this crown that's to be flushed down the toilet. Or maybe you can get scissors from Paper Mario the Origami King to cut into a million pieces. That would have been a much better fate for this thing. Coming at number 11, we have Highness from Kirby. Another unexpected character. Highness is I just don't like him. He has a pretty creepy and scary design. A lot of Kirby villains do, but Highness basically manipulates free girls to support his reawakening of a dark power, which again could have destroyed the entire universe. If Kirby wasn't there to stop him, he would have destroyed the entire universe. Yeah. I almost put Professor Hoffman on this list, but yeah, Highness, Professor Hoffman would be a easy guess. If it was him, it would be much higher. But Highness is not that far behind Professor Hoffman. But I put him because I want to put more newer characters on this list. And I don't like Highness. And no, Min Min's not on the list. I despise Min Min, but I would put Peachy from Smash Bros. Melee on this list. Number 10 is Free Guilty Spark. Everything wrong with this character could be said here. Is he this character? Or, of course, Cortana from Halo 5. But Cortana is actually good for the first 3 Halo games, because Free Industries didn't screw up Halo. But Free Guilty Spark is here if you in Halo 1. In Halo 1, he's pretty annoying. His voice is annoying. You always have to wait for him in the one very horrible level called the Library, the worst level in the entire original Halo trilogy, and that's there. And he betrays you in Halo 3, causing you have to go kill his ass. So, yeah. But at least you get to actually kill him. And I almost put characters like Porky Mince on this list, but Porky Mince, he's just a villain of a Mother 3. You're supposed to hate him. But if he Guilty Spark, he helps you, and then he betrays you. What a bastard. Number 9, Creeper. Creeper is not a bad video game character. He's actually the most recognizable character on this list. But we all know why the Creeper's on this list. You're building a house, and survival, and a Creeper comes by the house and goes boom. All your hard work is done. Is destroyed. And creepers are also very annoying in caves, because if you buy lava and because creepers make no noise, guess what? You die from the creepers. You die by this fucker. He just appears out of nowhere and you die. Another mob I could put was the penguin and the skeleton. But Creeper, considering he has been here from the beginning, and skeletons are only horrible to deal with in the water, creepers are bad to deal with everywhere but in the water. And most of the time he's spending gaining stuff is in the caves. So I probably have died countless times losing diamonds to these motherfuckers. Number 8. Mei from Overwatch. This is a character I don't get why people like. People say she's all cute and all. They'll say, she's one of the best characters in the game. She's so cute. But we all know Mei for who she really is. She's a ice-cold bastard. If you ever played any match against Mei, and the close seconds, of course, is motherfucking Bastion, that cheap motherfucker, and of course Hanzo, who can really kill you from half the map, but when we play as Hanzo, you completely die. You can die instantly. But Mei, guess what? so he can pull up a wall, and then he can literally heal all the health. And because if you don't have any characters to heal you by you, well, guess what? Since May healed all the health, and likely there might be a bastion behind that wall too, May kills you. And also May slows you down with the ice too, which is very irritating to deal with. And let's not forget, in the early days of Overwatch, May would really block you at spawn. Which I wouldn't be surprised if May is one of the contributing factors of why people stop playing Overwatch altogether. Because he's overall a terrible character. Next character on the list, number 7 is Dust Noir for Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Again, this is a more obscure pick. But yep, Dust Noir, he does kind of redeem himself in his game and Explore the Sky, but not everybody has played Explore the Sky. So basically, most people who played the originals know Dust Noir because he is. So he basically tried to help you and trick you into believing that Grovyle is the villain, even though what he has been doing the whole time was trying to save the world. So basically, this asshole basically tricks you into basically believing that a character that is basically just trying to save the world, so Primal Dialga doesn't go whack and basically turn the world into paralysis. Well, guess what? Dust Noir tries to do everything he can to make sure you lose, including sending you to the future and you having to escape with the help of Celebi, and in that timeline, Primal Dialga basically, wants them all dead, which is a corrupted version of Dialga, and also he tried to stop you from, of course, getting to Temporal Tower, causing, Grovyle to basically send himself back to the future with, of course, Grovyle. So basically, this asshole, throughout the whole game, basically lied to your face, basically tried to kill you using his minion Sableye, and then tried to stop you from basically stopping the world from paralysis. Another character considered is Darkrai, but Darkrai was kind of probably is kind of in the post game. And some people probably don't even play past the post game. But I'll go with Darkrai as well. Darkrai is basically the man behind everything anyways. But that's kind of more cliche, so Dust Noir it is. Next character on the list is Seti from Animal Crossing. So if you have not saved your game before, Seti is there to basically just yell at you and complain about you. That's all Seti does, essentially. I know he's helpful in New Horizons, but a character is so bad and so horrible that they had to make him basically optional in New Leaf because Nintendo literally said that Nintendo was literally saying that parents were reporting that kids were being scared of this character. And with Seti, especially in the first 3 Animal Crossing games, Animal Crossing for GameCube, Wild World, and again, City Folk, he is not as fair as any of these games. The first one, he can really just delete your save file if you don't save so many times. And the second game, he'll literally force you to apologize to him. And the third game, I didn't really play that much because that was my brother's game. But overall, Seti is a asshole in all 3 of these games. And New Leaf, he isn't that much. You can try it, and the really only way is that you really just have to go out of your way to piss him off in New Leaf. And New Horizons, he just helps you. But overall, Seti, yep, that next character. Okay, number 4, we have Abby from The Last of Us Part 2. This is one of the few characters that deserves to be on this list, even though I never played The Last of Us Part 2. Because, even though I never played the game before, Abby is a terrible character. I watched people play this game, and even though I never played The Last of Us before, basically, Joel is an idiot, and trusts this asshole, and of course, he kills him in the game. And also, he also sees in one of the worst scenes of gaming history. And then, You don't even get his revenge on her. Your revenge on her. Unlike Pokemon, so you really can't kill him because he's immortal. Abby, they just let her live because wokeness. Congratulations, Abby. You suck. Number 3. Bubsy the fucking goddamn Bobcat. Of course, this motherfucker has to be on this list. I have never played a Bubsy game. I'm never gonna play one. Because Bubsy can go die. One of the most annoying characters. One of the dumbest characters in gaming. And also, Bubsy ripped off Sonic. Okay? Bubsy is a city version of Sonic. And this game was basically intended to copy off of Sonic, the original games. And also, let's not forget that Bubsy 3D is one of the biggest horrible piles of feces in the game. And his voice is also very annoying. And let's not forget he had that random left outfield revival. F-Zero doesn't get a revival, but this fucker gets a revival. Is this how the world works? A character as silly as Bubsy the Bobcat gets a revival, but not F-Zero? And Crash Bandicoot took him a couple more years to give him a revival. But Bubsy got a revival before Crash Bandicoot. That's all we really have to tell you about this pile of sick character. They thought that Bubsy was so worth bringing back that they gave us 2 more city games to add to our Bubsy sick catalog of city Bubsy games. So overall, Bubsy sucks, and his game sucks, and his character sucks. And people compare. I remember I watched this video called "Why Life is Strange Characters Are Bad." Well, let's look at Bubsy. But there are no good characters from Bubsy, the entire franchise. None at all. There are no good characters. But of course, the main character is the worst of them all. And most deservedly deserves number 3. Number 2, we have Professor Pester. So Professor Pester is basically the main villain of Viva Pinata and Viva Pinata Trouble in Paradise. And of course, Viva Pinata Pocket Paradise. What does Professor Pester do? Well, number 1, he sends his goons or the ruffians to destroy your garden. They're very annoying, you can pay them off to go away, or else if you don't, they'll basically destroy all your hard work and all your work to make your garden. They're very annoying in all of the games. They're going to drop sour candies to make a pinata sick. But of course, the reader, now let's talk about the second game in the Viva Pinata franchise. Now the DS one, Trouble in Paradise. He is the absolute most horrible character, one of the most horrible characters ever introduced in media altogether. Professor Pester basically deletes all of the files for, of course, Winston's party thing, making you have to redo all the files and send every species possible, in the game to a party. So, because this asshole, of course, deletes everything. And let's not forget, he will come in sometimes. You can, of course, pay him off to go away, but that costs 100,000 taco coins each time. So basically, if you don't make him go away, he'll always destroy your most valuable pinata. So if you worked hard to get the El Vanilla or the Wario, and this asshole shows up and you don't know, well, goodbye to your hard work getting that Wario or El Vanilla. Goodbye to getting that Tiger Masu you've been trying to get, because this fucker will kill him and you won't get him back. Which means you'll have to get one from Gresham Fetchum, or you have to do all the work again to get him to get the same pinata. Professor Pester, I hope there's a special place in hell next to number 1 with you. Number 1, Mr. Jefferson from Life is Strange. He is the main villain of Life is Strange. You would be surprised, why is he on this list? Well, it is basically the 4th and 5th chapters of the game is why he's on this list. Basically, some of the characters are dead, and we find out in the 3rd episode that there's this thing called a dark room, and it's immediately blamed that on the Prescotts and Nathan. But again, you find out who is the one really using it. Well, it is Mark Jefferson or Mr. Jefferson. He is the one that is using this dark room. And what is he using it to? Well, he is purposely using Nathan as a pawn to basically take them to the dark room and take pictures of them. These are like high school students here, and he is supposed to be a teacher. This really shows that some people are truly despicable. And you don't even see all the people he does. He was the one that was behind Little Amber's death. He also killed Nathan, and he also killed Victoria. Yeah, and you even attempt to save her earlier in chapter 4. But of course, because because the main character Max you're playing as gets kidnapped as well. Guess what? You have to go through many alternate realities to get out of this dark room. And also, he also kills Chloe when we go back to Rachel's body in episode 4. And if we don't save him, he'll also kill you, and he'll also kill, of course, David as well. He is also the one that also made Kate basically commit suicide. So this man is basically responsible for the big event of chapter 2 where Kate tries to commit suicide. He is the one that basically made Kate want to commit suicide. No wonder why I chose the option to get rid of this town with if there's someone as evil, as corrupt as this guy. Because knowing the fact that if you reverse everything, we all know this guy's gonna go after a bunch of more women and basically take pictures of them and store them in his secret vault while he continues to go after women. I just find it just so disturbing that he does this kind of stuff. And he basically drugs you and, takes you down to the dark room, basically. And basically, he's taking pictures, and if you don't comply, he will basically kill you. Basically. So, yep, there you go about the most hated characters there's in all of gaming. Yeah. And, yep, there we go. So, I bet this list will probably be updated, pretty soon. There's also another list I could make for, of course, the most hated non-video game characters of all time. And there's a lot of those characters on that list as well. I might even make a top 50 worst characters, top 40 worst characters, top 30 worst media characters of all time. So that's basically it about this video. Goodbye.